What is going on? How are you all doing? Welcome back. 3 teams to go. Oh, we're getting closer to Season 2. Anyway, welcome in. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hope you're doing very well. Yeah, I've forgotten to include a lot more of the newer teams. So, let's do a new team today, shall we? As you can see up there. As you can see across here. And as you can see right up there, we are doing the Smiths. But more importantly, congratulations to Mahendra Singh Dhoni on his 109th birthday. I hope you celebrate it with a lot of cricket practice, I suppose. Get in the nets. Get ready. Season's starting soon. But welcome in though. Hope everyone's doing very well. Yeah, the Smiths. Obviously a bit of a weird one this season. That is a new team, completely new team. Wembley Wrong'uns. But the big thing to note is that he is obviously selecting players from a team previously managed. So he took over Adam's team, the Western Meteors, or something like that, and has retained some of their players. I gave him the option to go in with the new draft and have the whole selection to select from, or to retain some of the current crop that he was managing, and he's chosen to retain them. In terms of that current crop, I think he's selected quite a few decent players here. He's got 5 still coming back from the previous team. Mahendra Singh Dhoni was 109th birthday, congratulations. Carlos Brathwaite for obvious reasons, Dre Russ for obvious reasons, and then to help the homegrown contingent, he's got Finlay McCreef and Andy McBride. To be fair, I think Andy McBride, 7 wickets in the group stages, so turned out to be quite a decent player. From 84 balls as well, that's not a bad strike rate. Economy was 8.5, so can't ask for much more. Finlay McCreef, 8.5 economy as well. Dre Russ, 8.5 economy. Carlos Brathwaite is a bit more expensive, he also had 3 wickets though. But the two of them known more from their batting, especially Mahendra Singh Dhoni on his 109th birthday. So all in all, I think he's retained a lot of good players. In terms of new players that he's brought in, well, Daniel Bell-Drummond I think is a fantastic pick. 200 came in, he's a new player, and I know the Smiths likes Daniel Bell-Drummond, so I'm interested to see where he bats. I predict he'll probably open him. Then you've got Brathwaite at 3, Dre Russ at 4, maybe the other way around, but I think you've got to risk it with Bell-Drummond. I think he could be a monster of a player in this tournament. So there's that. In terms of also trying to keep the homegrown stuff there, you also got Tom Banton. But the weird thing is, for me, Kane Williamson, I don't know what he's going to do with Kane Williamson, because the way Dhoni, Dre Russ and Brathwaite batted, you're looking at potentially, well, you'd want them to be high as possible. But Kane comes in at 3, so do you hide Dre Russ and Brathwaite further down the order? Does Banton go further down the order? And you've probably got Dre Russ at 5, Banton at 6. The other thing you've got to know is that it's such a good, strong and varied team in terms of the foreign players. I think the homegrown stuff is really going to catch up with him, because I've got Stark and Van der Dussen on the bench. And you look at Stark immediately, you could probably bring him in for someone. Maybe like Kane Williamson. Well, you only bring him in for Embledenia, Kane Williamson, Dre Russ, Brathwaite or Dhoni. But then you've got to bring one of those 5 out. And that means also Gregory will go down to 6, and Finlay McCreef to 7, and McBride to 8, and so on and so forth. But for me, it's the foreign players. I think we're going to always see at least one big player on the bench. It could depend on also where they play. So it could be if it's a spinning pitch, you've got Andy McBride, you also play Lassie Embledenia. You could also think if it's a grassy deck, you go to Lords, for example, something like that. Maybe Embledenia comes out, Stark comes in, and you move Stark up to maybe 9, or if they're pushing further down, you move up to 8, because he does like to whack the ball a bit. It's really intriguing in terms of the bowling options. Obviously, you've got the 2 spinners in the team. One bowling it one way, one bowling it the other, in McBride and Embledenia. And I'm interested to see how Embledenia does. Because McBride, I think, well, we all have to play, looking at the homegrown stuff. But it's intriguing to see where they go from there. In terms of the Scottish players, they've got Finlay McCreef and Alistair Evans. I think they're 2 good picks. Ali Evans, obviously a bit taller. He runs very fast, by the way. And Finley McCreef is a good all-rounder. Didn't really have the best of times with bat or ball, no wickets, although the economy was okay, so he did go down to 200k. That's part of the reason I think why he was kept on. But all in all, it's a good balanced team. I do think though that the lack of funds spent on the homegrown players, and also the only two homegrown on the bench are Dylan Budge from Scotland and Tim Murtagh. I think that will come back to haunt them because they are going to have some big money players on the bench. Kane Williamson captains. Maybe that's a way for Carlos Brathwaite to head out. Carlos Brathwaite only 200k. Obviously, he did well with the bat and he picked up a few wickets as well. So it's hard to replace that, but this is the thing. It is so interesting to see how people drafted their teams, the different tactics people used. Some have gone more expensive on homegrown, some have gone less expensive like today on homegrown, some have gone big in batting. You've got a lot of all-rounders there as well, so maybe it's just a case of you get another batter in. Maybe Van der Dussen comes in for Embledenia, because you're looking at the all-rounders you've got Brathwaite and Dreyruss there, so you've got 7 people that can bowl 2 overs there in the lineup I've picked. Only Dhoni, Bell, Drummond, Banton and Williamson probably won't bowl unless you select one of them to be the opening bowler. So there's maybe a potential to get one of those bowlers out, to get one of the all-rounders out, and maybe properly extend the batting lineup and try and tell the lads, go out, just swing the bat, because you're looking down at 8, 9, 10. You've got Gregory, McCreef and McBride, and to be honest, even McBride at 10, it's not a bad man to have at 10, so it's intriguing. It's really intriguing. There are some out there options. I think Embledenia is one that wasn't picked last time, was picked this time. Obviously, Kane Williamson back in now. Scotland obviously played in the SCITT under the Kirkyoy Crushers. Back in now in the SCITT, his first season in the SCITT. Bell Drummond, another new player coming in. You got another one that's maybe I think could be a bit of a wild card and a bit of an interesting one is Rahman Mustafat MR. We'll go there, having a meltdown there. Left arm fast medium. You know, don't see too many left arm bowlers. He's got a few here. He's got Stark, he's got Rahman, he's got Embledenia as well. So a lot of intriguing options. He's got fast, he's got slower pace bowlers. It's a really good varied attack. The problem for me is again, I think he spent a bit too little on the homegrown players. But we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see, because I could be talking out of my absolute bottom here. Who knows? But it's interesting to see. For me, a couple of the players we haven't seen before, so the Embledenias, the Mustafasir, the Bell Drummonds, I think there are some good picks in there, and I'm really intrigued to see how they get on in the SCITT. Thank you for watching though. You have been an audience, which is a statement of fact, and we will see you all again tomorrow for the penultimate team video. Oh, it's been emotional, it's been stressful. I've been sat in this chair now for, well, a long time. My bum is in fact very numb. Anyway, 2 more videos to go. See you all tomorrow. And don't forget, remember and don't forget, smile.